Hey everybody, welcome to lesson 4 of the jewelry design course for Blender. In today's lesson, we're going to talk a little bit about curves and meshes and just a brief overview of their differences. I just want you to get familiar with them because those are the two things that I use during this course to design jewelry. Keep in mind as you follow along with this lesson that to switch which models that you want to work with, you have to be in object mode, select the model that you want, and then press the tab key to go into edit mode, or use the drop down box in the upper right or upper left corner to select which mode you want to work in. Let's get started. Okay, so in this part of the course, in this lesson, we're going to start working with meshes and curves, and I want to teach you a little bit about the differences between those two and how to distinguish them within the outliner here in our window setup. So let's talk about that. But before we do that, first I want to make a change to our user interface. So if you haven't already done it, go to File, New, General, and you should end up, don't save, we should end up with a screen that looks similar to this. And this is the default settings that we've already incorporated into Blender 4.2. And what I want to do is make sure that you're on this little circle here, which is called the viewport shading area, and we're in solid viewport mode. With that selected, hit this little drop down box, come over to random. You're going to click on that little random button, and what that does is it changes every object that's added to your 3D viewport in a different color or a slightly different color so you can distinguish the difference between which objects are which. In addition to that, come back to this little drop down arrow, and just to make it a little easier, we're going to turn on cavity. Cavity allows for this, if you look closely at this cube here now, with cavity turned on, we have this lighter color outline around the edges of our cube, and that just makes distinguishing models just a little bit more easy. With that done, I am going to go to File menu, I'm going to come down to Defaults, Save Setup, and I am going to overwrite. So every time I open up Blender now, I am going to get this different color models when I add new models or new meshes to my 3D viewport, along with this little outline here, just to help you distinguish between which objects you're working with. With that done, let's start talking about meshes and curves. So we already have a mesh here. We've got the cube. You can use the add menu to add items, and we have meshes here. These are all meshes, and if you followed along in lesson 1 and 2, we activated some extra stuff. Extra stuff would be like the rock generator, the diamonds, extra beams factory, wall factory, things like that. We will use some of these in the future. That's why I wanted you to turn them on, but under the meshes option, the sub-menu from add, these are meshes. Curves are the second option here, and if we go to curves and we hold our mouse over that, you can see we get all these different curves. There are a couple different types of curves used in Blender, but for the most part we're going to use, pretty much for everything, we're going to use either a path or a circle. So let's just understand that those are the two that we'll be using for the jewelry course. It's very rare that we use anything else, but if we do, I will go into that in more detail. Okay, so here's our mesh object, and it is a cube. I'm going to move it over here just to get it out of the way, and I'm using the green arrow just to move it along the y-axis. I'm going to come over to the add menu. Again, you can come down to add, or you can hit Shift A with your cursor in the 3D viewport, and we can select those same objects here. So I'm going to come down to curve, and I'm going to choose circle. Okay, so here's our mesh. Let's just move it a little bit closer to the circle. And here is our curve circle. And you can look closely at your outliner here. And in the outliner, you will see you have your cube and your Bezier circle. Now, if you look closely to the little green marks next to those little icons, you'll see this little triangle, which has a set of 3 lines connected to a set of 3 little points or little squares. That means that this model is denoted by that little icon to be a mesh. So when we work with that object, we know that it's a mesh. If we click and highlight our circle, we come over to the circle or the Bezier circle list in our outliner, you can see that we have 2 little dots with a single line between them, and that is the denotation icon for an object being a curve object. In addition to that, we get several different option changes here, but for the most part, this object here, which is the curve data, changes when we click on our cube. Then we get the cube mark here, and that's the data for our cube. We aren't going to get into too much detail into this, but I just wanted you to understand that when you have a mesh selected, you will see a triangle here. When you have a circle selected or curve, you'll see the little curve icon here. In addition to the outliner, you'll see both of those listed there. With that said, we can go into edit mode. Now there's two ways to go into edit mode. For some of you, the tab key is the switch between edit and object mode. Object mode is the mode we're in right now, and it's denoted by this little line here. You can see it says object mode. If we select our mesh and we press the tab key, you notice we go into edit mode. It's noted by this little edit mode box here. If you press the tab key, it'll switch back and forth. When you do that, you're in edit mode, you get little options here on the T bar. If you don't have that turned on, press the T key and it turns that on and off. And you can see that we have our mesh object now highlighted in yellow. And that means that we've got the object selected in edit mode. Now there are three sub modes in mesh mode. First, we have the vertices mode where we have vertices selected. When you have the vertices selected here, you'll see little orange dots on the corners of our mesh or at any intersecting point between lines. In addition to that, we can switch modes to the edge mode select. And if we do that, you'll see that the lines are now highlighted and we lose our little dots in between, but we can select a line just like we could select an edge. I'll come over here and I'll show you in edge mode. We can select just one edge, click on it. We can hold the shift key down and select multiple vertices. I apologize, those are vertices. And if we switch to edge mode, we can select multiple edges. Okay. So the last mode, and this is the one we'll probably work in edge mode select and face mode select a lot when we're in edit mode. If we select this icon here, which is face mode in edit mode, now we can select faces just by clicking on them. In addition, you can press A to select all of them, and if you press A twice, they'll go away. Okay, so now if we grab our cube and we want to move it, again, we can move it with the arrow keys. We could freeform move it by pressing and releasing the G key and then moving our mouse. Right click to cancel that last step. And you can left click to apply that last step. Now that's how we can denote. I'm going to press all to select all faces, and again we're going to go into vertex mode, and you can see we've got all these little dots selected, and that's the vertices of our cube. So you can see they're all selected. Now that's a mesh, and we can make changes to this mesh, and I'm going to encourage you to go and try this and play with it. I can go into edit mode, select the face mode icon, click on this face, and now you can see with the arrows I can adjust it any way I want. So I can move it around, up and down. Think of mesh mode as a bunch of pieces of paper or cardboard that are stuck together at the edges of them. So for instance, if I, let's just add in another object, and maybe this will help. We're going to go and add in a cylinder, mesh cylinder. And I'm going to take this, I'm going to move this over this way. And if we go into edit mode and we go into vertex mode, you can see all the little dots at all the intersecting points of the lines. If we go into edge mode, now we can select the lines. And if we go into face mode, you can see by selecting a face that, like I said, it's like a piece of cardboard that's cut and then stuck together with objects next to it or other pieces of cardboard to make an object solid. Okay, that's how meshes are made. And then we can go and make changes to these. We can go ahead and make our own meshes, which we'll get into in the future. Let's take a look at the curves. So we'll go back to object mode. So make sure you're in object mode. You can either down, or you could either drop this down and select object mode, or you can press the tab key and make sure that you go into object mode. Again, look over here. If I press the tab key, we go into edit mode. Press the tab key, we go back into object mode. So that's your toggle. Okay, so let's select our Bezier curve. Now, Bezier curves are different in that I want you to think of this as an object that is like a garden hose, where you have multiple points along that garden hose that you can drag, rotate, size up and down, make changes to. So let's go into edit mode with that selected. And you'll see that we have these little lines and dots that correspond to our curve. Now, I'm going to look at this from the top down, so I'm going to press 7, and I'm going to grab this little point here, and if I just move this around, you can see what it's doing is it's applying changes to the curve to conform and keep kind of an orientation of, not a sharp orientation around this curve object, right? It's allowing me, I can grab any one of these dots, I can keep and bend, and it just kind of keeps somewhat of a curvy form, not a sharp edge. Contrary to that, if we go back into object mode and select our cube, right? If I select the cube, I come into edit mode and I'll grab the edge. We're going to grab this edge here. If I go into 7 here, look at it from the top down, you can see it's basically bending or extending those sides, those pieces of cardboard, to accommodate the differences in that model. Okay, so let's just grab our Bezier curve again, look at it from the top, and I can come over here, I can grab this whole thing here, and I can hit S and size this, and you can see what it does. I'm changing the rotation, and adjusting the size, and it's making changes to the curve, always keeping a slight curvy form to the curve object. In addition to that, I can go down to my curve properties, and I can make changes here where I can, for instance, let's come into geometry here, and if I scroll down a little bit to where it says bevel, I can give this some depth and make this look a little bit more solid. And that may help you understand what a curve does. So here's our ring, right? Let's say it's a car key ring, right? And I can come into edit mode and I can make changes here by just adjusting the size. I can rotate it and make changes like this. Curves are non-destructible objects that you can turn into meshes when you're happy with the outcome. And then we can model with those to make a 3D printed object. In this case, we'll be making jewelry. So I want you to go ahead and play with that and find the difference between meshes and curve objects. Just go ahead and play. Don't worry about destroying anything or making it. You can always restart Blender or go to File, New, and create a new general project and add all the objects again. But get familiar with those. I'm not going to go into much more detail in this particular lesson. I just wanted to get you started with the differences here, and we'll cover those more in detail as we start modeling objects. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And of course, this is going to be part of a paid course. So while the first 5 videos of this course are going to be free, as we get into more detail, it is, of course, going to be a paid course and a bunch of lessons. I intend to have between 50 and 70 lessons here. So let's keep moving.